Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our full moon ceremony. Tonight, we celebrate the sun in the sign of Taurus and the moon in Scorpio, and the powerful Wesak festival. This is the second of the three great festivals of spring. The sun entered the sign of Taurus on April 19th, and the exact moment of this full moon occurred this morning at 9:56 a.m. So I want to be sure that you have your candles and your cup of water close by, because we'll be using those in our ceremony a little later. Actually, right now we'll be using the candles. So let's take a moment to light your candles in honor of this sacred Wesak festival. And as you're doing that, imagine people all over the world gathering tonight, lighting their candles, and you joining with them, heart to heart, soul to soul. So let us settle in now and find that point of stillness within. Be present to this moment. Focus on your heart center and think of something that brings you joy, gratitude, appreciation, and let it fill your heart. Feel it expand. See this imaginary group from around the world, joined by two circles of connecting light. The light from our hearts and the light of our souls. And repeat silently. I am one with my brothers and sisters, and all that I have is theirs. May the love which is in my soul pour forth to them. May the strength which is in me lift and aid them. May the thoughts which my soul creates reach and encourage them. Now, in your imagination, visualize all of our lights coalescing until they form a magnetic sphere of light in the center of our circle. The magnetic force of this light opens a channel for the spiritual realms to pour down their blessing upon the earth. Imagine this downpouring. Feel the energy of love and light and healing irradiating the earth. Imagine the earth breathing this energy into itself. Imagine it impacting the consciousness of every person, inspiring them to create right human relationships. And now bring yourselves gently back to where you are sitting. Feel yourself grounded to the earth. And let us begin. Tonight's full moon is also called the Wesak festival, or the festival of the Buddha, because we are told in the ancient wisdom teachings that the Buddha was born, died, and reached enlightenment in the sign of Taurus. We are also told that the Wesak festival is the most powerful full moon of the year, because at this ceremony, the Buddha and the Christ come together to bestow upon the earth the love and wisdom that they both embody. This is a cosmic downpouring from the highest spiritual realms. And it is especially powerful this year because we are in preparation for the Great Conclave, which occurs in 2025. Every 100 years, the hierarchy of masters meets in a conclave to review humanity's progress from the last 100 years. They then try to determine what energies and forces will be needed for the next 100 years that will help humanity evolve into the next state of consciousness. They do not control our destiny. We are in charge of that. But they do control the energies and the forces that they pour down upon the earth. And then it is up to us to use those energies at the highest possible level that we are capable of. In any event, this ceremony is said to actually take place in the Wesak Valley in Tibet. We are told that pilgrims from all over the world travel to this valley to participate in this sacred celebration. Many participate in their dream state, and some seem able to tune into the event while meditating. I'm wondering if any of you have ever had an experience of being in that valley for this ceremony. In this ceremony, the Christ acts as our representative, the representative of all of humanity. He holds within himself all of our aspirations, those longings and yearnings that we all have within us, as well as the energy of unconditional love. The Buddha holds within himself those spiritual energies that are available in the higher dimensions. He brings forth the wisdom of God and the divine light of illumination. When he appears from those cosmic realms, he transmits these energies to the Christ, where they are blended with the unconditional love that the Christ embodies. In this ceremony, the Christ then turns and pours forth to all the pilgrims present the beneficent blessings of love and wisdom. We can imagine that through this blessing, we are all brought even closer to the realm of spiritual realities. And at the Gemini festival next month, these energies are poured forth to all of humanity. The Wesak festival is connected with an ancient legend. It may be considered a mythical story or as just a symbolic narrative, but to a large number of people, it is factual experience. They have been there to see for themselves, or have dreamed it, or seen themselves there in their meditations. The story is connected with the Buddha and with a happening in his life which left him feeling that he must follow the dictates of his heart and return once a year from the high place in which he lives and works to bless the world. He becomes the transmitter of these cosmic energies, and the Christ becomes the receiver. And together they transmit the spiritual energy to humanity. Our visualization tonight will take us to the Wesak Valley, deep in the Himalayan mountains, to witness and participate in this beautiful ceremony between the Buddha and the Christ. We will imagine ourselves participating in that beautiful ceremony, part of which includes going up to the altar where the Christ stands and dipping our little cups into the big bowl of holy water that has been blessed by the Buddha and the Christ. Let us prepare now for our journey to the Wesak Valley. Please have handy your cup of water, as your water will be blessed during the meditation and become a healing source for you when you drink it after the meditation. Take just a few moments to make sure you are seated comfortably, sitting quietly and breathing gently and rhythmically. Please excuse the bright sunlight. I forgot to close the curtains. All right. Now, breathe a silent Om into your physical, mental, and emotional bodies. Notice how it feels to have these three bodies quiet, still, quiescent, and aligned. The spiritual realms are very close to us on this powerful day. Let those great beings know that you are open and receptive to their impressions. In your mind's eye, imagine a portal, a doorway opening to the spiritual realms, and see these energies pouring through that portal into your body, through the crown chakra. You are literally breathing into your body the Taurian energies of illumination and aspiration. Ask that the light of Taurus and the wisdom of the Buddha illuminate your being. Now imagine that these same forces of illumined energy are streaming forth through pathways of light into all the hearts and minds of humanity, infusing them with the goodwill needed to create loving and harmonious human relationships and a climate for positive social change. May the love of the divine self be shed abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world. Now, breathing that light back into your body, let us travel as illumined beings to the Wesak Valley. Keeping your eyes closed, let us imagine that we are traveling far away to the Himalayan mountains on the border of Tibet. In the middle of this mountain range, there is a sacred valley where pilgrims from all over the world are gathering to celebrate this special Wesak festival. See if you can imagine, sense, or feel yourself there in this sacred valley, surrounded by disciples and pilgrims, all waiting in anticipation for the Buddha and the Christ. Some of these pilgrims are there in person, and some are in their dream state. As you look around, you notice the ground is covered with short, coarse grass, and the sides of the mountains are covered with trees. See this in your mind's eye as clearly as you can. Now breathe in the air. It smells fresh and sweet. There's a feeling of expectancy in the air as the pilgrims begin to gather. At the northeast end of the valley, where the passageway begins to narrow, there's a massive stone altar. And placed on top of the altar is a great crystal bowl filled with water. Standing in front of the altar, facing the opening of the passageway, with their backs to the crowd, stand the Christ, the Lords, the Masters, the Archangels, and the illumined ones who guide planet Earth. They gather around this rock to pray. Take a moment to feel the excitement building as we all wait expectantly for the moment of great blessing. As the hour of the full moon approaches, a stillness settles down upon the crowd, and all look toward the northeast. And now begin to feel the expectancy in the crowd becoming very great. The moment is approaching, and the tension is real and increasing. Feel the potency of the vibration moving through the entire body of people gathered here. Feel it as it moves through you. This vibration has the effect of awakening and quickening the soul of all who are present, fusing and blending the group into one united whole. As a body of unified souls, we lift up our demand to the great ones. We wait with expectancy and readiness. All of the world is aspiring to ascend to this high point of consciousness. As we listen carefully, we can hear the pilgrims chanting and dancing on the floor of the valley. They are weaving beautiful geometric patterns that have a profound effect upon the crowd. As the chanting and rhythmic weaving grow stronger, all the participants and the watching crowd raise their eyes toward the sky in the direction of the narrow part of the valley. Just a few minutes before the exact time of the full moon, in the far distance, a tiny speck can be seen in the sky. It comes nearer and grows in clarity and definiteness of outline until the form of the Buddha can be seen, seated in the cross-legged Buddha position. See him in your imagination, clad in his saffron-colored robe, bathed in light and color, and with his hand extended in blessing. When he arrives at a point exactly over the great rock, he extends his hand in blessing toward the Christ, who represents humanity, and he receives this blessing unto himself. The Christ holds this great gift within himself until it is time for it to be distributed. Then the great invocation is pronounced, sending a strong current of gratitude from humanity to God Himself. As Buddha sends his blessing of illumination, and Christ sends his blessing of love, the atomic and molecular structure of the water in the crystal bowl is altered, receiving an infusion of wisdom and love. It is then distributed in small portions and taken out into the world to be shared. Imagine that this blessing of wisdom and healing is being infused into your own cup of water. Imagine now the entire valley filling with the light of the Buddha's blessing. Imagine the room where you are sitting now, filled with the same light, radiating into every corner of your space, filling it with this powerful light. Imagine it filling you with that same light, touching every cell in your body, filling you with radiance. The power of this group and its invocative appeal sets up a great vibration that is so potent that it reaches up to God. This blessing, when distributed, then comes forth and touches all of humanity. It comes as a spiritual vitalization, and the effect lasts throughout the year. The blessing is poured forth, and the Christ, as the representative of humanity, receives it in trust for distribution. Thus, so the legend runs, the Buddha returns once a year to bless the world, transmitting through the Christ renewed spiritual life. Slowly then, the Buddha recedes into the distance, until again only a faint speck can be seen in the sky, and this eventually disappears. The whole ceremonial blessing, from the time of the first appearance in the distance until the moment the Buddha fades out of view, takes just 8 minutes. The Buddha's annual sacrifice for humanity, for he comes back only at a great cost to himself, is over. And he returns again to that high place where he works and waits. Year after year, he comes back in blessing. Year after year, he and his great brother, the Christ, work in the closest cooperation for the spiritual upliftment of humanity. Through the Buddha, the wisdom of God is poured forth. Through the Christ, the love of God is manifested to humanity. And it is this wisdom and this love which pour forth upon humankind at each Wesak full moon. When the Buddha has again disappeared, the crowd rises to their feet. The water in the bowl is distributed in tiny portions to the masters, initiates, and disciples, and they then go their way to their place of service. The crowd, who have all brought their little cups and vessels of water, drink from them and share with others. In your mind's eye, imagine yourself walking up to the great stone altar and dipping your cup into the sacred water. Imagine yourself sipping it slowly and allowing its potency to fill your body. In this beautiful water ceremony of communion, we have preserved for us in symbol an indication of the new age, which is today upon us, the Aquarian age, the age of the water carrier. It is the age of the man bearing a pitcher of water, pouring forth blessings onto the world. In this ceremony, we are reminded of the universality of God's love, the need for our individual purification, and the opportunity to share with each other that which belongs to all. The water, which has been magnetized by the presence of the Buddha and the Christ, carries certain properties and virtues of a healing and helpful nature. Thus blessed, the crowd silently disperses. The masters and the disciples return with renewed strength to undertake another year of world service. So runs the ancient legend. Sit silently now for a moment and allow yourself again to be open and receptive to these potent energies coming from the Buddha and the Christ. Be as a chalice, ready to receive, ready to ground these energies into the earth. Be still. Now take a deep breath and allow your awareness to return to the physical world. Know that you now carry the influence of this festival of Wesak within you to be used for the unfolding of your spiritual nature. Feel joy in your heart and give thanks. Now, seated in your own space, I will ask you to raise up your cup of water that has been blessed by the Buddha and the Christ, and listen to these words. Repeat them to yourself. With love, I accept the blessings of the Buddha. This force blends with the love of the Christ to aid in the stimulation of the Christ within me. The water, a symbol of spiritual essence, channels love, awakens my nature, and bears wisdom. Take and drink with gratitude. Take just a few sips, please. Then raise your cup a second time and think of an area in your life that is in need of healing. The water now is very potent. It has the healing energy of the Buddha and the Christ. As you take this second drink, ask that it be used for your own healing. With this last sip, ask the energy from this water be used for the healing of humanity, of our earth, of every kingdom in nature, animal, vegetable, and mineral. You are now filled with light, love, and power. Now it is your responsibility to safeguard these energies from any misuse. Go forth with harmlessness as your intent. And remember, tomorrow is the day of distribution. So that means that you are filled with these radiant energies, and it's now time for you to radiate those out into the world and to be cautious about it, how you use your energy for the next few days, because it will be very potent. So let us close with the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Om. Om. Om.